successfully work for tens of thousands of people. As a holistic, natural approach, it doesn't require any medication, nor obviously have any potential side effects. The system is fast-acting and requires no tedious or hard work for it to be effective. You can eliminate panic attacks and anxiety for an extremely low cost compared to the expensive psychiatrist-psychologist fees that are typically ongoing. You get the personal coaching support from Barry himself. This is very rare for an expert to personally offer that level of personal support and a highly valued inclusion. There's also the option to get the physical copy of the book and videos if you so prefer. It's easy to follow and apply. The support ticketing system is actually quite decent. You always seem to get a reply within 24 hours. There's the access to the members forum where you can get support, care and direction from other people who are also going through the same challenges as you. Okay, and now to the cons I found with this package. This program is designed to successfully treat and stop panic attacks and eliminate general anxiety. If your anxiety is severe, this program is not for you. It most likely won't help. So, the Panic Away system does do what it claims, and given the level of personal support from both the expert himself, the general support ticketing system, and by the community forum area, you are never alone on the way to a permanent recovery. If you're not sure whether your level of anxiety could be categorized as severe, therefore this may not work for you, you can still try it out for yourself completely risk-free. The whole Panic Away package comes with a full 60-day money-back guarantee. This means you can actually try out the techniques outlined in the book and videos, and if you're not satisfied with what it teaches or you believe it doesn't work, just contact the support area to get a full refund. You really have nothing to risk or lose except your panic attacks and
My name is Barry McDonough and I'm the creator of the Panic Away program. The Panic Away program is designed to accomplish two specific goals: to stop panic attacks and eliminate general anxiety. If you've experienced panic attacks or suffer from general anxiety, you know exactly how unnerving it can feel. It is like the rug has been pulled from under you and your sense of security is shaken. When I experienced my first panic attacks, it left me feeling completely confused and afraid. All I needed back then was the right information to end that fear and confusion. I'm going to share that information with you now on this presentation. It's only a few minutes long, but can really make a difference to how you are feeling. Okay, first things first. If you experience panic attacks or general anxiety, it does not mean that you're going to lose control or go insane. It is not a mental illness. Anxiety is a behavioral problem that can be easily corrected with the right guidance and information. That's a really important point because many people fear that their anxiety problem is a sign of a mental illness. It's not. My next point is that an anxiety problem has nothing to do with a lack of courage. In fact, it is quite the opposite. People with anxiety actually do the bravest things. They get up each day and face their challenges. They pick themselves up after every setback and deal with inner challenges the average person never has to face. I've worked with people like firemen, police officers and soldiers who have accomplished remarkable feats in their line of duty, but tell me privately that dealing with their panic or anxiety has been the hardest challenge for them. Of course, the average person can't understand why it's such a big deal to drive on the freeway or go to church or even go shopping, but for the person with anxiety, accomplishing these things can be a massive achievement. The good news is this bravery does not go unrewarded. Once you deal with your anxiety, you develop an inner strength that the average person never gets to develop. That is something you learn quickly using the Panic Away program. Another important point to share is that you are not in any danger from a panic attack. A panic attack will not harm you. The fight or flight response that you experience during a panic attack is a built-in mechanism going back to our caveman days. It is there to protect you from danger, not to harm you. Rest assured that your body's primary goal is to keep you alive and well. Panic attacks are not your enemy. They are simply the result of you misinterpreting the signals your body is sending. It's a bit like a false alarm. Think of all the panic attacks you've experienced and how you've always come out the other side, possibly petrified, but nevertheless alive and undamaged. Aren't you still here after all those attacks that convinced you were going to die? The pounding heart, the tight chest, dizzy feelings. It's something I can laugh about now, but I remember during one or two intense panic attacks almost saying my last goodbyes. I was that sure it was all going to end. The Panic Away program has been showing people how to end their anxiety for almost 10 years, and it is now one of the most talked about anxiety treatment programs because of the results it is getting.
I am so thankful that I found this. I mean, what a wonderful, wonderful blessing. It works in eliminating that panic attack. I never learned how to deal with panic attacks this way. I'm 32 years old and I've been having them since I was 16. And this is the first time ever that, I was told, look, try it this way, where I actually saw results straight away.
Very simple to apply to your life and has been so life-changing for me. He's brilliant. I wish I would have known about this 10 years ago. It's amazing. That's all I can say.
I've had panic attacks and anxiety for over 15 years. I've had all the sensations, the heart beating out of my chest, the numbness in the arms, the dizziness, just the list goes on and on and on. And people that have never experienced this, they just can't relate. They just look at you like you're a stranger when you try to explain the symptoms and whatnot. Nothing works. Not like this. The program is working.
On December 28, 2009, I had my first terrifying panic attack in the form of breathlessness. It was so bad, my body froze. They had to call an ambulance and get me. After a complete medical workup by my doctor, there was nothing they could find. I was diagnosed with GAD. Being a health professional, I decided to go online and learn as much as I could about my condition. Luckily for me, the first line I read was Panic Away. The book is the most straightforward and well-written piece of clinical literature I have ever read. And being a pharmacist, I read quite a bit of clinical literature. Within 2 weeks, I have a sense of calm in most days that I have ever had in my whole life. Panic Away not only changed my life and my outlook on it, it saved my life and my career. If it wasn't for this course, I'm not sure which way my life may have turned.
Panic Away, wow. I'm forever grateful, and I thank God for letting me find this site.
As a frequent business traveler, this was a huge, huge issue in my life. I started the Panic Away program 6 weeks ago and was absolutely amazed at how quickly it helped me.
And I was scared to death of passing out. And I would call my husband all the time to make sure his phone was on and I'd be able to get him. In October, I found Panic Away. I typed how to stop panic attacks in the search, and there it was. Within 10 minutes of reading the book, I walked upstairs smiling and told my husband, I think this is it. I'll never forget it. Today my panic disorder is gone.
I'm so excited, like, whew, this is great.
To the outside world, you pretend all is well, while inside you feel you're about to crack up. People who struggle with anxiety tend to be very intelligent, creative, and caring people. But I guess that's not how you see yourself. You probably beat yourself up for feeling anxious all the time and think you've some kind of defect. Well, I'm going to blow the lid on those misconceptions and teach you that anxiety and panic are not something you have to manage all your life, but can end. But first, I need to get something off my chest. Do you also find it frustrating to see so many so-called solutions to end anxiety on the internet? And yet all they're really teaching people is how to cope with the problem, not really how to end it. All the books and courses out there tell you the same thing in different ways. Breathe deeply and try and distract yourself. Think happy thoughts and then wait for the anxiety to pass. Well, let me tell you something. Anyone who has experienced a panic attack or high anxiety knows that deep breathing and distraction is not going to solve the problem. That's like closing the gate after the horse is bolted. It just doesn't work. People are not being given real solutions. All they're getting are band-aids that simply cover over the problem. But that does not mean that there is not a very real solution available. What if I told you there is a very simple technique that you can use to stop a panic attack in 21 seconds flat and reduce general anxiety in 7 minutes? Sounds too good to be true. Well, it really does exist, and if you keep watching this short presentation, I'm going to tell you all about it. My name is Barry McDonough, and as someone who used to experience frequent panic attacks and general anxiety, I can show you a revolutionary way to end your anxiety problem. This almost unheard of technique has gone under the radar of doctors and psychologists for years, and yet one of the world's greatest psychiatrists, Dr. Viktor Frankl, thought it to be the only true cure for panic and anxiety. And no, it's not medication, it's not hypnosis, and it's not NLP or some other strange therapy. It's real psychology with a very unique approach to anxiety elimination. But before I say another word, I want to reassure you that I really do know what I'm talking about. For a start, I bet I can pinpoint exactly where you've been having a problem. Maybe you found yourself in the hospital's ER because you thought you were having a heart attack, only to be told later it was just anxiety. Maybe you fear you might stop breathing because your chest and throat feels tight. Maybe your bodily sensations during a panic attack are so intense you fear passing out. When you drive, do you fear getting stuck in traffic, on a bridge or at red lights? Maybe you feel nervous and afraid you might lose control or go insane in front of others. Or do you struggle with anxious thoughts that will not stop? I know exactly how you feel because I've been there too. And yes, I know you worry that you will always feel this way. Well, you can put that worry to rest right now because you won't. You will not be stuck with an anxiety problem forever. But you know, the hardest thing about all of this is the fact that other people just don't get it. You tell them how terrifying a panic attack is and they think you're exaggerating. You explain about the continuous anxious thoughts you have and they remark, "Hey, I worry too." You tell them that you wake each morning with a sense of dread and they say, "Oh, come on, who is a morning person?" They simply don't get it. The weekend is coming up and your partner wonders why you won't go out for dinner. They say, "Oh, please, just do it for me." What they don't get is that sometimes you think you will actually die. The fear is so intense, and that your mind is in such a fog, you wouldn't be comfortable for a minute. You really wish they could understand what you are dealing with, and when they don't, you feel even more alone and anxious. Well, I've got 3 things to say about this. The first is that you are okay. Yes, you have an anxiety problem that needs correcting. You wouldn't be watching this now if you didn't. That's why you surf the net looking for answers. That's why you constantly worry if this problem will be with you forever. You worry about the scary bodily sensations and if it's a sign of something more serious. You get a cold jolt of fear at the thought of losing control and getting locked up in some madhouse. I know all of this because I've been there too. I've had the exact same thoughts and fears as you have. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay because all of this is curable. All of the anxiety can be healed, and no, you're not going to lose control or go insane, and no, a panic attack is not going to kill you. It's all okay because you are perfectly safe. Anxiety is not a mental illness. It's a behavioral problem you can quickly correct with the right guidance and information. And remember, nobody dies from a panic attack. Any good doctor will tell you that your body is perfectly able to handle this heightened state of nervous arousal. You are safe. The second thing you need to give up is being so very hard on yourself. Anxiety is such a difficult thing to go through, so give yourself a little space and some compassion. You're not a weak person. This is a real challenge and you've been so brave up until now. You will in fact become a stronger person because of all this. So stop beating yourself up or feeling ashamed. You are truly brave and you matter to many people. Lastly, you will not be like this forever. Give up feeling like this is something you will always struggle with. I know how terribly frustrating it feels right this very moment, and how hard it is to imagine a brighter future when feeling like this, but trust me, you have one. The good news is that you will win in the end. How do I know this? Well, I've been teaching people how to win over anxiety for the last 10 years, and what I teach gets real results. The people who find me have often been struggling with anxiety for years, and they always say, I wish I found this technique years ago. Well, the good news is you are here now, and what if you are watching this presentation because it has come to you at the right and perfect time for you? What if you're here because you are finally ready to end your anxiety problem? Isn't that an exciting possibility? It was exciting for the thousands of other people who have used my program to end their anxiety. People like stay-at-home moms to police officers, soldiers, and even well-known TV celebrities, all who use my program to end their anxiety problem. And you know, the thing is, it isn't all that hard to do. You just have to take the first step. Let me tell you quickly how it happened for me. I was in my first year of undergraduate studies when I began to experience panic attacks and general anxiety. After months of struggling with anxiety, I became absolutely determined to find a natural solution to the problem. I didn't want to take drugs or see a therapist